Today is 1100, 6th day to come share lessons on learning. I hope to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about election day. I think election day now is one of the main topics because everyone understands how important it is. And why is it important? Because it potentially change direction. Maybe we're going the same direction. We need to ask them, do we like our direction or not? And if we do not like where we're going, maybe it's a time to make a change. Maybe it's time to make a shift. So I think that it's very, very important we understand that election day is important. Because if we don't have election day, it might be going all life to the same direction without making a change. I think that the only mistake that sometimes people do, that we do, is that we really have election day for external things. But we do not have election day for internal things. And that's just not okay. That's not okay because internal world is much more important than external. We're able to vote for external things, but we are one of thousands, of millions, of billions. Now we are very, very important to make a vote because we're free to do that, and we need to show that that's where we're heading. But at the same time, we need to understand that the most important election day is your internal election days that you set for yourself. I think one of the biggest things that people fail in life is that they do not have election days in their life. And they stuck in one spot. They stuck who they are. They go into the direction that they don't want because they don't have election days. So today we'll share a couple of things that really why it's so important to have internal election days. So number one is that the collapse of yourself. When you don't have a election day for yourself, you start to live a life based on external things, based on cultural things, based on someone else. So we need to ask ourselves, are we going to the right direction? Are we going to my direction? Are we going to our direction? And if not, we need to have that election day. And election day is not for people a lot of times. It's for directions. And sometimes election day for yourself, okay, who you want to become. So that means, okay, I could become this kind of person, or I could become this kind of person. So which person will win? Or you can have, I will have a vote for vision. I could have this vision, or I have this vision. And I think that when you do not have election days, that means we potentially pursue both visions, both type of people at the same time. And that means we have split self, the collapse of self, because we're not able to be two people at the same time. That is very draining. We're not able to have two visions at the same time. Yeah, we have it. We can have it. But what happens when you have two different visions? You put energy in one, you put energy in the other one. So that neither one doesn't get full attention, 100% your attention. That means both visions will be average. And when you build two of you, two self will be average. But are we seeking average or are we seeking exceptional? We're seeking exceptional. We deserve exceptional. Every single person is supposed to be exceptional. Every single person is supposed to pursue excellence. And if we do not have election day, if we do not make the decision, because we can call it decision making, we can call it election day. I think we wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and you're thinking that we'll finally make a decision, but we need to sometimes have a deadline. Say that November 5th or November 17th will be that day. I'll make that decision. I will make that election. I will count my votes. I will take my polls. I will take notes, and I will write down all the things, what I want to see, what I don't want to see, and I vote. And it doesn't matter what happens. Whatever wins will control next 4 years, where your vision goes, where you are going. Because I think that a lot of times we afraid that when we make a vision, when we make who we want to become, that we'll need to keep that vision for the rest of our lives. And that's why we procrastinate. But when you understand that vision, that part of you will be just for a season, for 4 years. So it means you are voting for internal vision for next 5 years, maybe 10 years. And that's okay. And after that, we will have a new election day. That's totally fine. So, second thing that we need to understand that you are free to make that election day. And if we do not make that election day, we're potentially losing our ability to choose. If you're not choosing, that means it's something else, someone else choosing for you. If you're not choosing, someone else is choosing for you. And that's the same as saying that if you do not pursue your own goals, that means you're helping someone else pursue their goals. So why not pursue your own goals? Why? Why not? And that's why election day is so important, that you can really decide what is your goal and really pursue that and make that decision. This is my opportunity to change. This is my opportunity to move towards my intention, my goal, my inspiration, my values, my beliefs. The other thing that we need to really think is that at the end of the day, like when you do not have election day, what it does? We have a life source. And when we really do not know our direction, true direction, that life source is not as powerful. I don't know how about you, but for me, when I do not have clarity, when I do not have direction, I don't feel energized as much. So having that direction, it seems like a boost of energy. It seems that yet when you have a direction, when you have that election day, and when you make that election happen, and you know who win internally, it seems that external universe supporting that decision and is sending more resources to achieve that vision. And I think that a lot of times we do not have those resources coming from universe yet because we just never had that election. We never had that choice. We never made a decision yet. And say, I will look how it will see. And I think that wishing to make decision is not the same as making decision. I think that sometimes we need to declare and really have a victory speech. So when you have a two visions that you want to pursue, and then finally you make that election and that one vision gets the most votes and you're pursuing that vision, we need to have a victory speech for ourselves. I'm happy that I won. I'm happy that I made a decision. I'm happy. So that means that you acknowledge your vote, you acknowledge your direction, you acknowledge your values, beliefs, aspirations, all the things that you value the most right now. That's very important right now. As I said, it's so important to understand that your vision might change 5-10 years because you changing. It might be that in 5 years you will see that direction that you're going maybe will not give the things that you want. And so fine. That means that you're able to be changed thing. Like exactly the same like in US elections. When you have those states, 50 states, and then there's, of course, you can swing, one state could swing from one candidate to another candidate. Exactly in your beliefs. Your beliefs might swing from one belief to another belief. So that means that at some point, your beliefs will swing in other direction. It might be that other vision will become much more attractive. And that means that after 4, 5, 10 years, you will have a new election day and then might be to swing to another vision. That's totally fine. But at least you made the decision. At least you're taking your action to make things happen. Because one of the worst things what happens is when there's no election days, there's no action. There's no action. What I mean by that when you don't have committed vision, we have a tendency to delay actions until we'll make the decision. So that means that the longer you wait to make the decision, the longer you don't take any action. And the longer you don't take action, what happens? You start to procrastinate. You lose your identity. You lose your self-worth. There's so much things to lose with inaction, and so much to gain with action. Because we have a meaning when we take action, and when we have it, we don't have action. We have meaningless. So that means that we have soul desires, we have heart desires, we have mind desires. And really, when we blend all those together and say, okay, I made a decision, this is what I'm doing. You like it or not. It might be that, but the most important part, like in US election as well, that one person could have 51% of the vote. But now the whole country will go to one direction rather than 49-51. Exactly the same with your decision. It might be that your heart wants one thing, your mind wants other thing, your soul wants different thing. But when you vote for what is the most important for you right now, you find it, okay, this is telling me one thing, this is other thing, but 51% of me telling me to go to that direction. So it means you don't pursue 49 of other direction and 51 other. No. So that 51% of me wants to that direction. So my whole me will go to that direction. And there's so much more chance to achieve success when you are aligning yourself, heart, soul, mind, everything in you to pursue that one direction rather than split yourself in multiple areas and not be fulfilled. I think that's one thing that we need to understand all the time as well, besides that internal world, that when we do not make a decision, when you do not make a decision, that means that influences a lot of people around you. That means your family, your friends, your associates, everyone. Your indecision will lead other people to indecision as well. Sometimes I think that there are so many relationships are broken down just by indecision. I'm not ready to commit. I don't know where I'm going. Because some people want to go to one direction, and another person, I don't know if I want to go that direction. And they stay in the bus station or train station. Of course, they're looking, okay, there's 12 trains. And they were all leaving in different times, and you don't know which one to take. And you're standing in that train station. Okay, should I go this direction? Or should I go this direction? Or should I go this direction? And sometimes while you're waiting which train to take, all trains will leave and you will leave in a station. And you leave and you see there's only a couple of people left because all other people left the station to some form of destination. Sometimes it's better to move to destination A and then take another train to go to destination C. But we need to get going. We need to start moving. Because if you don't know where we're moving, we will lose relationships. We will lose communication. And the most important part that I think that understanding about decisions, about election days, is that I truly believe in the ripple effect. It's a massive, massive thing. So that means what decision you make today will not affect just you. There's one decision that one election day could influence you, your kids, their kids, their kids, their kids. So that means that your election day might influence so many people that you can never fathom how many people will be influenced. And that means that not just about your kids, about the people that you connect when you share your thoughts, your aspirations, and you really are passionate about the direction that you're going. And those people that you meet are impacted by your election day, because people know when someone is really serious about their decision. They are serious about their election day. They are serious about their vision and belief. And when they see that, they're inspired by that. They want to follow that. And people do not have belief in themselves until they make that election day happen. So I hope that you reflect as well. When you have those decision-making moments, when you have that election day, maybe you never had that. Maybe you're just hoping that you will finally make a decision based on something. I think that sometimes it's very, very smart to make deadline and say that this is. I know that something majority of people have a New Year resolution, and it seems that they are election day, but it's more like promises to yourself. But I don't speak about the promises to yourself. I speak about decision for yourself, election day for yourself, and you make a commitment, determination for yourself. That means it must be happening. But election day must be on paper. It's not like in the mind, oh, I think this. No, decision must be on paper. You need to write down, this vision of me wins this election day, and I'm pursuing that. This is who I will be in 5, 10 more years. So I hope that you will reflect as well, because I probably will need to really reflect as well, because election day, I think that I do pretty well, but I think I still need to make sure that I do on consistent basis on different areas of my life, because we have finances, we have relationships, we have health. In all those areas, impact, all those areas we need to have election day. So, okay, what kind of impact do I want to make? What kind of health do I want to have? What kind of finances do I want to have? What kind of relation do I want? So all those things requires election day. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.